Vespoli USA, based in New Haven, Connecticut, is a world leader in the manufacture of racing rowing shells. And to celebrate the company's 40th anniversary, we decided to dive into the family tradition of rowing as they pass the torch across generations and tell stories of their boats and the passion for rowing. On this episode, we're going to be speaking with Michelle Betger and her daughter, Reese. Welcome. We're going to start with you, Michelle, if I may. Tell me a little bit about yourself and how you originally got involved with rowing.
I had two older brothers that rowed, and so every weekend I was being dragged to races to watch them, and it was all weekend long. And so when I got to high school, I decided, it felt like I was what I wanted to try too. So I started rowing in high school, then continued through college and just loved it so much, kept coaching after that.
Wow, so you're coaching now, so you're still actively involved in the sport.
I am not coaching currently. I'm a lot older now because of that, but I did coach out of college for 8 years after that. And then actually once I was pregnant with Reese, that's when I actually took time off from it. And
Gotcha.
This is my return back as her as a rower.
So come on then, Reese, tell me, how did you first get involved? Did you get pushed into it by your mum?
I didn't get pushed into rowing. It was probably because growing up, I had talked to her about rowing, and then seeing her go to her alumni rows at UCF, I sort of got introduced to the sport. And then in middle school, some of my friends actually ended up joining a middle school rowing team, and I ended up trying it out and enjoying it. So now in high school, I am still rowing, and I really like it.
Amazing. That's so good. Normally our children tend to steer away from anything we as parents because if it's cool for them, it's definitely not cool for us. So it's kind of great, that the topic of this has been sort of that passing of the torch and the tradition of rowing within families. So that's kind of cool. So tell me about some of the benefits that you've experienced of rowing. Start with you, Michelle, if I may. What sort of benefits did you get from rowing? Things like character building or physical and emotional wellness.
I would say definitely, and starting in high school with it, it helped me with being disciplined, even with my schoolwork. I had to have everything timed out because it was limited time for doing everything else. So I think it added that discipline to me and just a work ethic. I feel like my work ethic increased with rowing. And I would say as far as developing friendships and being able to work with all varying personalities. And so actually, I'm even a teacher now. And I think that influenced me as well with that.
Absolutely. So people skills, time management, and that all important work ethic. That's incredible.
Yes.
What about yourself then, Reese? What do you think of the benefits so far have been for you in your rowing career?
Definitely gaining friendships. I've gotten so close to so many people on the team because of rowing, because I spend so much time with them that I've gotten closer and closer to them. And then also just physical well-being. I've gotten much stronger and faster because of rowing. I also do karate, and I feel like I can do that better as well because I'm also doing more physical activities.
Oh, that's fantastic. I've got to be honest, I did a bit of karate myself, but not so much the rowing. I did some kayaking, but rowing it's hardcore. I know it's hardcore. I'm English. I know about rowing. We've got a lot of water and a lot of rowers. It looked like hard work to me. And you also have to get up very early in the morning.
I'm a morning person because of rowing, for sure.
I was going to say, often getting up with the crows, so to speak. So if you were to look back, I guess, at your rowing career to date, what do you think has been your greatest moment, Michelle?
I could answer it from two perspectives. As a rower myself, it was in college. My last 2 years, UCF had just gone through Title IX. We had been bumped up to NCAA. And we raced against in Florida. The big team at the time was Miami. And so at states, we won, had never, ever, ever beat Miami or gotten any close to it. And we won states that junior year of my year in college, and then repeated it senior year. So that was just a monumental moment, and just kind of starting off the program at UCF, and now to see what it's grown and become. I feel kind of proud to have been part of that moment that kind of started that and where it is nowadays.
Yeah, for sure.
But then coaching, every year was always a different experience and a wonderful experience. But I'd say that the highlight, again, was just, I had a group of 4 ladies that rowed a junior 4. It was my last year coaching with one team, the 2 teams that I coached for. And we took it all the way to junior nationals and they won. And it was just an amazing experience.
Wow.
And to be part of it from that other side of it was, and just to see these girls, the work they put in pay off. It was wonderful.
It's fantastic. Do you miss rowing and do you miss coaching? There's two questions there.
I miss them both.
Yeah.
It really is something to where I love that Reese is rowing for my own sake for that, because I feel so much more involved with it again, because I did miss it considerably. I get to sprinkle here and there, as she mentioned, with the alumni and getting to go out to UCF and see some of my former rowers and participate somewhat in it. But this has brought it back to where it feels like more of a daily experience. And I definitely longed for that.
Do you think you're ever going to step foot back in a boat?
I would say I might step back more into coaching before maybe.
Okay.
Physical aspect of it, Reese has that down. I kind of lost that, I think. But
okay,
I would love
Reese.
to row too, though. I mean, I love being on the water, so in any aspect of it. So I think being able to feel that, have that experience again, and to feel it would be wonderful.
Yeah, very therapeutic, I'm sure. So what about yourself then, Reese? What's been your single greatest moment today? It doesn't have to be about winning something, but something that was special to you and made you, I guess, love rowing even more.
I can't think of exactly one moment, but I know that yesterday was just like a very motivating day for rowing, because yesterday was the East Coast Classic for our team, and both the boats I was in actually won second place, and that was just a really good start for my season.
Fantastic.
For like our first really big race of the season.
That's great.
It's just placing and getting medals and feeling how fast our boat can go. It's just like monumental to me to feel that we're like a good team and we can win.
Yeah, absolutely. How exciting. Now, did you manage to row throughout the pandemic? How did that work out for you?
So I was in 8th grade when the pandemic sort of hit, and that was my last year of like our middle school team. So for a while I couldn't row until the summer of 2020, which is when I started doing the summer camp for my high school team, and I got back into rowing. So it was a couple months of where I really couldn't do anything, but then we got back into it, wearing masks, sanitizing everything, but now we're fully back into rowing again.
Fantastic. What was it like rowing in a mask?
It was a bit difficult. I always wore my mask on the water.
Yes.
Which did end up being a bit difficult to breathe.
Yes.
But nowadays I don't have to do that anymore, and it's much easier.
Yeah, thank goodness. It does appear that we're coming to the end of it. So back to the rowing then. I mean, the topic of this is about that family tradition and the passing of the torch through generation to generation to celebrate Vespoli's 40th anniversary. Would you say that you now have rowing as a family tradition? Because, of course, I guess, Michelle, it came from your family tradition and now you're passing it down again.
I would definitely say so, just because, I'm one of 4 siblings and all 4 of us rowed. And so we kind of started it, because prior to that, my parents did not. But the fact that Reese has taken it up and actually seems to love it for more reasons than just because mom did it, that makes it something to where I foresee her sticking with us and continuing. And I'd like to hope that the influence will carry on to, should she have, children in the future as well.
Wouldn't that be amazing? Would you like that? I know it's a bit hard to think that far ahead, Reese, but if you had kids, would you want them rowing and collecting medals like you?
If they wanted to, yes.
That's a great answer. It's a great answer, isn't it? Everybody's like, well, I wouldn't push it upon them, but they better row. Guys, thank you so much for your time today. It's been fantastic speaking to you and hearing about your experience within your families and how rowing has played such a big part to celebrate the 40th anniversary of Vespoli. To find out more information about them, of course, you can check out the website, which is vespoli.com. But Michelle and Reese, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.